Hey everyone! Glad to have you back. It's time for another JAV story. Are you a fan of the Sentai series? That's the central theme of today's episode. Are you ready to join our hero in fighting the evil villain? If so, let's go! In the year 2000-something, the world is facing a very serious problem that needs to be solved as soon as possible. The accelerating decline of birth rate is the problem I am referring to, as well as the aging population. And behind these troubles hides an evil organization that is responsible for all this. Who could they be? We will discover that shortly. Often under the cover of darkness, they unleash their terror by attacking mostly men. A couple witnessed this event. The woman, a journalist, attempted to capture the scene with her camera to have material for her story, but it was her partner who fell victim. He was swiftly sedated by the leader of the group, who introduced himself as Dr. Bation, a deranged scientist. He developed the drug to manipulate the reproduction of the entire human population. The lower classes must be diminished, leaving only his race to dominate and govern the world. These concepts will not be tolerated by our protagonist Karina. She is part of a noble squadron that contends against a malevolent organization aiming to alter the proper way of human reproduction globally. As M's Pink Ranger, she embodies the spirit of love and justice. A fierce confrontation took place between her, who bravely faced danger solo, and the henchmen of Dr. Bation. They were all defeated because Pink excelled in combat, prompting the deranged scientist to flee, but certain he would return to further his sinister agenda. Pink successfully rescued the girl but quickly departed, leaving her alone at the scene. Karina experienced a straightforward upbringing in an orphanage with several younger orphans. She took on the role of their protector but always remembered her duty as the Pink Ranger since she joined the team. Right now, Blue Ranger has summoned her to their hidden hideout because they need to discuss something important. The location where she resides is also kept secret, but she is being tracked by a female journalist eager to land a big story to gain fame. As a result of this situation, it seems she will finally achieve her long-desired dream. In the following scene, Pink's fellow members of the group can be observed. The Red Ranger is seen as the leader among them and provided an update that the drug analysis had been finished. Dr. Bation's medicine had intensified, prompting them to enhance their own medication as well. They made improvements to the medicine they were using so they could become even more powerful during their transformations. However, for Pink, she prioritizes spreading the message about the significance of proper reproduction through love. From two individuals who are in love, a new generation will emerge that will help address the world's declining birth rate. Red cautioned her to be vigilant, as her beliefs could be jeopardized due to the enemy's devious nature. Suddenly, Pink sensed an unusual feeling that altered her mood, leading her to leave. This shift was attributed to the side effects they experienced after transforming into M's Rangers, so they allowed her to depart. Karina quickly went back home due to the shift she was undergoing. She felt overheated and sought a way to ease her discomfort. She dislikes it and feels embarrassed when it occurs, but there is nothing she can do since it's a side effect of the medication she is on. While she was engaged in her activities, someone was observing everything she did. That person captured a photo of the situation using a camera. Who could this individual be, and in what way might they utilize the images? Meanwhile, in Dr. Bation's hidden base, he is reprimanding one of his subordinates for making a mistake. Following that, his team distributed a magazine that could provide them a significant edge over the Ranger team. The complete identity of the Pink Ranger is disclosed in it, but who would have the courage to do such a thing? Karina learns the news and feels both surprised and anxious, as her identity has been exposed. This situation poses a threat to their safety. The two men she was tending to have now arrived, appearing disheveled and unruly, which diverts the girl's attention. Karina spots something one of them is holding and inquires about its origin. They claim that someone just handed it to them. As Karina reaches to take the bottle, a female journalist intervenes and snaps their photo. This journalist is responsible for revealing Karina's identity as Pink and is now eager to interview her, arguing that the public deserves to know who she and her team are. Karina cannot fathom the journalist's actions. Not only is the entire M squadron at risk, but so is the entire world. However, the journalist remains indifferent to their plight, motivated solely by the desire for a significant story to enhance her career and gain recognition as a journalist. While the two women were in dispute, the two men finished off the liquid in the small bottle. They consumed it all and were left empty-handed. Karina received a call from her partner Blue, who informed her that their adversaries had found their secret hideout and were launching an attack. He also mentioned that Red had been captured and defeated by the foes. With no options left, he simply ran away. Following their conversation, the two men became aggressive due to the substance they had ingested earlier. At that moment, the television activated, revealing Dr. Bation, who greeted Pink. He instructed her to hand over the medicine they were taking to transform if she wished to see Red survive. He also revealed that he had administered the drug to the two men, which would lead to violent behavior, so the only choice was to either allow them to act out or confront them. Karina found it impossible to resist the two men she took care of, so she attempted to engage in a deeper conversation with them. She explained that what they wanted should be reserved for those of the appropriate age and who are genuinely in love, similar to a married couple. However, the influence of the strong medicine made it so that the two men could no longer comprehend her words, leading them to overpower her completely. She chose not to retaliate to ensure they wouldn't get hurt. Ultimately, Karina was defeated, and the woman took the opportunity to capture a photo of the attractive woman. Fortunately, Blue arrived just in time to intervene and stop the intrusive girl from her actions. After Karina regained her strength, they promptly began looking for their companion's location. Using the signal from the transmitter linked to Red, they were able to locate him quickly. They warned the annoying woman not to follow and interfere with them. However, this journalist is equally fierce and relentless. She will continue to follow them in pursuit of a major story. It was already late in the evening when Pink and Blue reached Dr. Bation's headquarters. They separated to locate Red. Moments later, Karina spotted him and quickly freed him from his restraints. Enemies showed up, prompting the sexy girl to transform into Pink. She fought them off. Pink is powerful and virtuous, so she won that battle, but then the deranged doctor appeared on the screen. She was warned and threatened that something terrible would happen to the irritating and bothersome female journalist he had captive. The woman is quite chatty and remarks to the old man, which is what brought her to this predicament. Due to this event, Pink was incapacitated and they quickly bound her. Even more troubling is that they have also taken control of Red. Pink has been ensnared in a trap, putting her life at risk from someone she once considered an ally. The elderly scientist mocked her once more. Once she fell into Red's grasp, she found herself in captivity. Blue manages to locate Pink and rescues her yet again. She received medication that enabled her to transform and confront the brilliant scientist's full might once more. With the newfound power she gained, it appeared she might be able to overpower them. Could that really occur? In the meantime, Dr. Bation and the annoying woman struck a deal to create a narrative centered around the scientist and his efforts to enhance his public perception. After some time, Pink arrived on the scene. She was shocked by what the journalist was saying about the ongoing issue. She seemed completely entranced by the mad scientist and fully aligned with the agenda of his organization. The elderly man wanted Pink and her team to join forces with them, but she had other plans in mind. She managed to defeat the doctor's henchman, which allowed the doctor to take the woman captive once more. Just as she was about to launch an attack on the old man, the adverse effects of the medication she had taken began to manifest, leading to her weakening. Seizing the opportunity, Dr. Bation acted quickly. He was already aware of her vulnerabilities and had the alluring heroine by the neck, who was particularly sensitive to various elements on that time. The mischievous girl's grin broadened at the thought of a fresh scoop to write about and share. This would undoubtedly make headlines, and she would become even more renowned, boosting her standing as a journalist with her forthcoming actions. She fled the scene, leaving the unfortunate woman at the mercy of Dr. Bation and his men. A few months later, the journalist paid a visit to Karina at her residence. She was thankful as all her writings had sold out, and she received a promotion at work. Additionally, due to her efforts, the M Squadron had been dissolved, and the global birth rate continued to decline. Another surprising development was that Karina was expecting a baby. The woman laughed and pointed out that what they had been striving to achieve in raising the birth rate had ironically happened to her, but in an unintended way. So, who is the father? Well, your guess is as good as mine. The end. So, does that imply that evil triumphed over good? Occasionally, such occurrences take place. Ultimately, who knows if justice will again emerge victorious? Regardless, if you understand what is right, I'm confident you won't choose the wrongdoings from this movie. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I'll catch you in my next story. Farewell, everyone.